You know what blows my mind? A recent study showed that 76% of hiring managers say they're now prioritizing soft skills over technical qualifications. Yet most job seekers are still obsessing over their technical credentials and certifications.
That's such a fascinating disconnect. It really shows how our whole understanding of career value needs to shift, doesn't it?
Exactly. And what's even more interesting is how this plays out in real life. I was just reading about a tech company that hired a former kindergarten teacher as their project manager. Not because she knew coding, but because her skills in communication and problem solving were exceptional.
Oh, wow, that's such a perfect example of how we need to think differently about career transitions. What made them take that kind of risk?
Well, they found that her ability to manage complex interpersonal dynamics and break down complicated concepts into simple steps, skills she developed teaching 5-year-olds, translated perfectly into managing tech teams. And get this, within a year, her team's productivity increased by 40%.
That's incredible. And it really highlights how we often undervalue these transferable skills.
You know what's really striking? According to recent workforce data, the average person now changes careers, not just jobs, but entire careers, 5 to 7 times in their lifetime. That's a complete shift from just a generation ago.
And that makes understanding your transferable skills even more crucial. I've been seeing more companies using AI powered tools to identify these skills in candidates, moving way beyond traditional resume scanning.
That's fascinating. How exactly does that work? Because I imagine it's pretty different from the old keyword matching systems.
So these new systems actually analyze how candidates respond to real world scenarios. They're looking at things like problem solving approaches, communication patterns, and adaptability. It's like a sophisticated skill DNA mapping.
And what's really interesting is how this ties into the bigger picture of workplace evolution. The World Economic Forum predicts that by 2025, 85 million jobs may be displaced by automation, but 97 million new ones will emerge. The key to staying relevant? Those human skills we're talking about.
That really puts it into perspective. And it's not just about future jobs. These skills are already making a huge difference in people's careers right now.
Absolutely right. I was looking at some research that showed employees with strong soft skills earn on average 20% more than those who focus solely on technical abilities. But here's the kicker: most people don't even recognize half the valuable skills they've developed.
Hmm. It's like having a Swiss Army knife, but only using it as a regular knife, isn't it?
That's exactly it. And what's really interesting is how different industries value these skills differently. For example, the healthcare sector puts a premium on empathy and communication, while tech companies are increasingly looking for creativity and adaptability.
Speaking of adaptability, I read something fascinating about how the pandemic changed employers' perspectives on this. Want to hear the numbers?
Oh, definitely, lay it on me.
So, post pandemic, 92% of companies reported that adaptability became their number one desired skill, up from just 54% in 2019. And here's what's wild: they're willing to pay up to 30% more for candidates who can demonstrate this skill effectively.
You know, that reminds me of something I saw in a McKinsey report. They found that companies with highly adaptable workforces were 4.5 times more likely to report better financial performance during times of uncertainty.
That's such a powerful data point, and it really shows why we need to shift our thinking about career development.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. The most successful career transitions often happen when people focus on what I call their skill stack rather than their job title. It's about understanding how different combinations of skills create unique value.
Could you give an example of what you mean by that?
Sure, think about someone who combines strong analytical skills with excellent communication abilities. That person might excel in roles as diverse as data visualization, strategic consulting, or even marketing analytics. It's about seeing how your skills can mix and match in different contexts.
That makes so much sense, and it really opens up so many more possibilities for career growth.
And looking ahead, this approach becomes even more crucial. By 2030, experts predict that up to 375 million workers globally will need to switch occupational categories. But here's the good news. The skills they already have might be more valuable than they realize.
That's both challenging and exciting. It really emphasizes why understanding our full skill set is so important.
Exactly. And I think that's the key takeaway here. Your career value isn't just about what's on your resume. It's about understanding and leveraging all the skills you've developed along the way and being ready to adapt them to whatever opportunities come your way.
And when you have that kind of clarity, you're not just prepared for change, you're actually excited about it.
Couldn't agree more. It's about seeing the whole picture of who you are professionally and using that knowledge to create opportunities rather than waiting for them to come to you.